Welcome into Paul Catalina's Top 5. Last week I was going through the conferences that will have who's in the conference are going to be better in 2025. Then we were kind of derailed by the death of Gene Hackman, so we did two different movie top 5s. But now let's talk about the SEC teams that will be better. Some might be obvious to you, some might not be so obvious. Number 5, Texas A&M. Marcel Reed installed as a starter from game 1. That will be better. Healthy running backs. That will be better. One more year in Colin Klein's system. That will be better. The defense loses some players, but they did really well replacing them in the transfer portal. Plus, the wide receiver position is upgraded. That should all be better. Mike Elko, also a defensive genius, so don't discount what he can do in spite of losing some guys. And Torian York still exists on that A&M defense, probably one of the best linebackers, if not the best, in the country going into 2025. Number 4, South Carolina. Shane Beamer is finding his groove there in Columbia, and they've got one of the best quarterbacks coming back in Lenora Sellers. They've got some really exciting skill players on the outside. Dylan Stewart is back, the best freshman defensive end last year in the country. All these things are looking bright for South Carolina, and they finally have a coach who can make it his program, and they can win regularly if they keep on this kind of pace. Not to mention picking up Aaron Nolan as a transfer to be a backup. He was one of the top-rated quarterbacks in the 2024 class. Went to Ohio State. Now, of course, blocked by Julian Sand. Went to South Carolina. He's going to wait for Lenora Sellers to head on to the NFL, and then he's going to have a shot to take over. They have quality depth for the first time in maybe in South Carolina's history. I don't know. They haven't done a lot. The most nondescript team in the SEC is South Carolina over their history, but now they're starting to get some studs. They're playing at Williams-Brice Stadium. Number 3, LSU. From my mouth to God's ears, Garrett says. But Garrett Nussmeier is one of the better quarterbacks in the country. They should still have a good offensive line. In spite losing 3 starters off of it, they have the depth at that position. Where I think they're going to see a difference is on defense. Harold Perkins is moving into a star role, which technically makes him in the secondary, but really just allows them to put him wherever they need him to be. And if he comes off that ACL tear well, which given it happened in September and he's going to have a lot of rehab time, he should be able to hit the ground running better than someone who had that injury later. He got hurt very early in the season, so Harold Perkins at the star could revolutionize that defense for Blake Baker, and very interested to see what they do with him, moving him all over the field, even in coverage sometimes, but more or less they're going to line him up and he's going to be like Micah Parsons or Troy Polamalu, whoever you want to say is, okay, you're going to go get that guy, whether it's the quarterback, the running back, a tight end, whatever. That's going to be Harold Perkins' role. I think that changes the whole defense, and I do think the secondary can't get much worse than it did last year, especially since you at LSU should be able to, Brian Kelly, just yell out, cornerback, cornerback. Does someone want to play cornerback here? And 5 guys could be like, yeah, I do, and they're all going to be studs. You should be able to do that. The secondary should be better at LSU in 2025, which would make a lot of things better there. Why do I say this? John Mateer, an upgraded quarterback over Jackson Arnold. And look, I know if you're an Auburn fan, you're saying, wait a minute, we think Jackson Arnold is going to be great. Maybe he is. Okay? Hugh Freeze is going through some stuff right now, so I won't pick on him today. But I will say this, John Mateer, a proven commodity, a playmaker quarterback, a dual threat, if there was ever a dual threat, will get better throwing the ball. If they put the playmakers around him like it looks like they have, this team will be better. And look, that was as bad as you can maybe think by Oklahoma standards that they would be. And they fought through it. Brent Venables is in a make-or-break year. He went out and changed his offensive coordinator, Ben Arbuckle, one of the best young minds in college football. The last time they did that was a guy named Lincoln Riley. I think this is going to work out in a similar sense for Oklahoma. Sadly, for USC, that same thing hasn't quite worked out year over year with Lincoln Riley. But I think John Mateer, Ben Arbuckle will make a huge difference for the Sooners this year, and they win some ball games. And number 1, I mean, it's... And they have DJ friggin' Lagway. They've got all these guys wanting to play there. Billy Napier was the worst coach in the SEC starting out last year. They couldn't get him out the door fast enough. Then idiots like me go on there and be like, hey, if he wants to keep his job, he should play DJ Lagway. Not that I'm saying that Billy Napier watches this show and says, you know what, I'm going to stick it to that fat a-hole. But I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of people like me that say, hey, listen, Graham Mertz, nothing against the guy. He's a trooper, but he's not a net positive. He's not a net negative. He's just there. He's a zero. He's not going to help you. He's not going to cause you to lose. He's also not going to help you to win. He's just there. He's just taking up space. DJ Lagway is a net positive, and it was proven. Once Graham Mertz got hurt, DJ Lagway made them better every single step of the way. He's a year older. They have better players around him. People are flooding into Gainesville for the first time since Urban Meyer left. And it's got me questioning everything about my faith and reality and all that. I mean, how did this happen? It's upsetting. I know that you don't like to see me in this condition. I'd like to see me in this condition. As long as DJ Lagway's there, they're going to win ball games. He's a stud. The only solace I have is this gator that ate the clock and Captain Hook's hand. That's all I got. That's all I've got. That's all I've got to cling to is this little effeminate alligator. Right here. That's all I've got. But yes, Florida should be very, very good in 2025. Do not sleep on them at all. DJ Lagway is the truth. And the best news for all of us who are rivals of the Gators is that there's only 2 more years of this. So everything is temporary, even our pain. I was fine. I was doing well. I was thriving in the universe. And then DJ Lagway came along. But good luck to the Florida Gators in the spirit of sportsmanship in every single game but 2, when they play LSU and when they play FSU. If they're 10-2 and those are the 2 losses and they don't win the national title, I think I can get up in the morning and see the sunshine. If not, I'm going to start listening to The Cure a lot. That's going to do it for this episode of the show. Smokey, please get me off my rant.